Hello everyone and happy Nano. I know it's like, well, at the time of filming this, it's November 23rd, so I'm very late. Hopefully I can still get this out in November, but I have not made a video about Nano, National Writing Month, whatever you want to call it, so I thought I would do that today. I'm not really participating in Nano this year just because I have school, so I can't really fully participate in the way that I want, but that's fully okay. So I thought it'd be fun to do a little Nano day in my life where even though I'm not doing writing every single day, I would still try to have a day where I try to hit the word count, because most of the time when I write, I'm hitting about 1,000 words. Yeah, about 1,000 words. And I think for Nano, what is it, like 1,666 or 7 or something like that. So it's currently 3:53, so the day's almost over. But I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and try. Usually I'm not a word count person. I don't care about counting my word count or anything like that, but I like a little challenge. So we're gonna go ahead and do that today. Most of the day so far, I've just been studying, and I made this smoothie, of course, which smoothies have been a game changer in my life recently. And it's like something I look forward to every time I can make one. But where was I even going with this? Anyways, we're gonna write today. I also still have to do some more studying, so the whole evening isn't unfortunately gonna be writing, but that's okay because, you know, I'm gonna try to do my best and see what I can do. Okay, so quick little update. I don't know if I talked about this, maybe I did, but for the longest time I've been stuck on this one aspect of my book where I didn't know what to do, and it had to do with a specific character and their backstory, and I wanted more dimension to them. I didn't feel like there was enough going on that can add to their motivations and why they're trying to do what they're trying to do, pretty much. So literally the other night I was taking a shower and it like hit me like a bus what I wanted to do with this character and their backstory, and like I'm just so happy because it literally ties everything so perfectly together. And like I'm like a plantser, like I plot and I also pants and kind of just go with what I'm feeling. And I was looking back at other chapters to see if this new idea was gonna hinder anything that I've written so far, which is fine because in the next drafts I don't mind changing things as I can. But thankfully the way that it just like beautifully flows with what I've already written is so like serendipitous. I'm just so happy that it worked out that way because I don't really have to change anything. I just maybe need to add more hints and things here and there that might help make the reader a little bit more curious when we finally have the reveal. But it's like I always had that idea from the start, and I'm just so happy with how that turned out. So I'm gonna continue writing that situation today, in that chapter today. So right now I'm on chapter 28, I think, and chapter 30 crazy things happen. And I think I said this before, but I've been so slow with writing recently, so I haven't gotten to chapter 30, but I would love so much to get to chapter 30. I don't think I will, just because I'm gonna have to write over 1,600 words to get to chapter 30. But if I can get closer, I would be really happy. And maybe I'll absolutely snap and go way over 1,600. We'll just have to see. But it's getting a little bit dark because, you know, the sun sets early nowadays. So I'm gonna go ahead and start writing and just see what happens. Okay, let's go. Hello. So it's been a minute. Not huge updates, just because I had a mix in studying with writing, unfortunately. And what time is it? Okay, it's 5:21. So I feel like I have the rest of the night now to myself because I finally finished studying. So that's great news. I feel like that's plenty of time to get a lot of words done, especially because I go to school later than normal tomorrow, so everything's just working out. So I'm excited to really dive in. I have no idea what word count I'm at currently, but at my next update I will definitely let you know. But I'm gonna need to hear from you sensitive girlies out there, because I've been like, I'm just such like a softie, I think, because remember when I was telling you about how like, oh, I wanted more of a backstory for this character and wanted to learn more about their motivations and all this stuff. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it's a sad backstory, and I knew I wanted to find like a sad backstory just because like I'm the type of person where even as a reader, if something sad is happening, if something's stressing me out, like I get so like antsy. Like I just want to read like a peaceful book. Sometimes like if it's crazy, like not everything gives me anxiety, but a lot of times if there's just like sadness, and especially if there's like death associated with something, like I just try to avoid it at all costs. So for me, this is very out of my comfort zone to be like making something sad when I have full authority to not. And I'm not trying to like be on the safe side with writing. Like I think I'm trying to do everything I possibly can to make it the best that it possibly can. And I truly believe that the route I'm going with in the sadness and the death aspect is the right way to go. But I'm just like so sensitive, and I'm like, but can't we just all be happy? Like why does it have to be like that? And it really reminds me of Taylor. Shout out to Taylor Ann Wright, but she just has like no problem like killing characters, having like sadness, traumatizing her readers pretty much. And I admire that so much about her. Like she'll destroy the reader if she so feels. And I kind of want to channel some of that energy myself, even if it means that I'm gonna be crying while writing it. Though I don't like in this current scene, I don't think there's no big reveal. Like we're only dancing a little bit around like the big, oh shoot, this is why moment. But I guess in my head, I'm just like, dang, I'm dreading this for this person, and I know everything will be okay because I can't not make this book a happy ending. Like I'm physically unable to do that, but I want us to go through a little journey along the way. Like I can't just be throwing like roses at y'all and like making this all like happy, because honestly, looking back at my most favorite books, they've all had, well, except for one of my favorite books is literally just like a silly little billionaire romance, but all my other ones where I would recommend have made me cry and caused me to have like this visceral reaction and just like did a lot for me. And like I would love to do that as well as a writer to other readers. So that's what I'm gonna try to emulate. But let me know if I'm the only one who feels this way, because I just really cannot stand sadness. But that's part of life, because even thinking about like everyone's own personal lives, it's not all dandelions? What's the word? Sunshine and rainbows, whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a walk right now because it's so nice outside, and then I'm gonna come back and get to writing and see how close we can get to chapter 30. We're probably not gonna touch chapter 30 unless I somehow eat, but I'm excited to see how far we can get. Okay, bye. Okay, so I don't know if I'm gonna meet this word count because I only have like 500, how many? Like 520 maybe words. And that's so okay, because when I say I literally fear I ate in this scene, like I feel like it's been a minute since, actually has it been a minute? I don't know. I be gassing myself up way too much, but I really feel like I ate. Like this scene, like I knew what I wanted it to end with, and I feel like a lot of the time when in my outline, like I know what points I want to hit, but like conversations and how we get there is also like such a mystery to me, and this one was one of them. And I just really like how it turned out. Also, I'm not gonna put too much context in it, but I feel like this one character I have is a low-key psychotic. Yeah. Like I feel like a lot of the psychotic characters I read about are in like dark romance books, but this guy is like, actually no, because a lot of like morally gray guys are psychotic. Is this guy, but I don't know if I would say like this guy is morally gray. He's just like a little crazy, and I like that. You know, I like a little crazy, so I'm not gonna change him at all. You either love him or you don't. Anyways, we are now moving on to chapter 29. It's 8:14 at night, and not gonna lie, I was so close to being like, should I just make this like a 2-day thing? But like that's not the point, right? Like I'm having a nano day in my life, and some nano days you're not gonna hit the word count. But you know what, who knows, because I'm not going to bed yet. Things probably won't change, but you know what, I'm here to just continue writing, and I really want to make a dent into chapter 29 because y'all know I'm so excited for chapter 30. So yeah, honestly, I feel like after chapter 30, all the things that I've been waiting for since I started this book, it's like now happening. It's like a reward, and I can finally partake in it, because I know a lot of people are so down writing out of order, and I definitely thought about that, but I just feel like if I write out of order, then I'm gonna only have the like not so fun parts left, and then I'm not gonna like have the desire to continue writing because I already got all the juicy bits. So I haven't written out of order yet, and now it's like, oh, it's finally here. So I'm gonna start chapter 29. Pretty much this scene, well, there's two scenes in this chapter. They're very complementary of each other, because one scene we're getting one character's perspective of another character, and then in the other scene we're getting another person's perspective of that same character, and they're just such different perspectives. And I think that that's going to be kind of fun to do, because I don't know if I have a chapter like that so far. And so in this chapter we're going to dive in a little bit to like the complexities of people, and how, like, you know, okay, this is so, I'm just trying to yap right now, but you know how like sometimes people could like tell you something about yourself, like, oh, you're so shy, and you're like, I'm really not, I just don't know you like that. That's pretty much what I'm trying to do in this chapter, because I've had very similar situations where people have told me things like, oh, I'm so shy, I'm so this, I'm so that, and I'm like, no. And like each one of those versions I do think are me, maybe not shy, but maybe more quiet. And then other situations people will say like, girl, you don't stop talking. So I think it would be fun to do, and not too hard to do too, because this last chapter, like I said, it was hard to think of what was gonna happen, and I'm just like so sick of, well, I'm still gonna have to think, like I can't escape that part, but it would be nice to not have to like plan so much, because I think this one has like more thorough, what is the word, I don't know, like notes or whatever, outline, whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and talk to some new characters, well, not new characters, but characters that we haven't seen in a long time, because the way that they be, like I be forgetting that they exist, is a problem, but we're gonna worry about that later. So yeah, let's keep on writing. Okay, so it's 9:45-ish right now, and I think I'm done writing. Honestly, I didn't write all that much more. I think 300-ish more words. I don't even remember what total I was at last time I checked. But yeah, we definitely did not hit 1,600 words. But that's so okay, because literally I just spent so much time reading this chapter I made like a year ago now. And I am just like so proud of myself, because that chapter was actually really, really, really good. I had myself laughing, and I was like, I knew what the chapter like ended and like what happened in the chapter, but like I completely forgot the conversations that went on and the feelings and thoughts and just all those things. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like this seems like a book, like it's actually feeling like a book, and that's kind of scary to me. I don't know why. It really shouldn't be, because like that's what I'm here for. I'm trying to write a damn book, but I don't know. I don't know why, like just the imposter syndrome just like took over, and I started getting like feeling like I was way in over my head. And like I wrote over 50,000 words so far. Like it's a very, not 100% fully formed, but like it's getting there. It's closer to a book than it is not a book. And so that's like crazy to me. I don't know. And I think too, what was really cool is like seeing where the characters were then and where they are now, because oftentimes I'll reread the previous chapter to get my bearings and know what the heck is going on. Or if, let's say like if I'm writing in one POV but the previous chapter was a different POV, I'll go back to whenever the last POV of what I'm writing was. So like I never go too far where like people are acting completely different, or like things that are going on are different. So this was just so weird. I was just like literally on chapter, I think it was chapter 4 12, 13, 14 that I was reading, and like stuff is just so different. And I don't know, I just thought that was so cool because I have not read my whole book from start to finish yet, and I'm so tempted to, because girl, when I tell you, I was getting like excited, and that's why I kept like reading, because I was like, oh shoot, I'm a writer, like this snaps, like I think this is good. And it makes me wonder, like, is my writing quality as good as it was then? Because when it's so fresh in my head, like, I do think it's good, but like the stuff that I was reading just now, like that was good. And so now I'm kind of like, shoot, do I sound like that? Like currently, like, I don't know. And maybe shoot, like maybe I'm even way better now than I was in that chapter that I wrote a long time ago. There's a real possibility, but it's just very interesting that like, it's hard to gauge sometimes, because I can say I'm writing really good now and then tomorrow read it and be like, this sucks. Or I can say this sucks, tomorrow read it and be like, it's amazing. But even more so, like a month, 2 months, 3 months from now, can have very different opinions. And I don't know, I was just feeling proud of myself, and like that's all I can ask for when, like, you know, the days are long and I'm sitting there for a long time trying to get 1,000 or so words, and it doesn't seem like it made a dent. Looking back and seeing that, like, how far I've come, how far these characters have come so far, I think that that's so cool. So I'm not gonna give up on this book. That was definitely like the, I don't know, like the little like boost that I needed, even though it didn't feel like me. Like, I mean, it felt like me, but it also didn't feel like me, because I'm like, I would so say that, but also like, did I really say that? Because it just, I don't know, it felt good, especially for a first draft, I think. So yeah, that's what a large part of this evening went to, or at least since my last update with you guys, was just reading. And I'm tempted to like read a little bit more before bed. I don't know, we'll see. But I do want to do another challenge where I actually follow through with it, because I could so easily be like, hey guys, like I did it, I wrote 1,600 words. But like, what's the point in lying? Like, I feel like every time I do something like a challenge or start a video saying I'm gonna do something, there's always that thought where I'm like, I could just lie, but I'm not going to, because that's not realistic. That's not what happened. And especially when I was doing other things like studying and then rereading other chapters, writing 1,600 words is kind of challenging when you have other things you're trying to do as well. So I'm happy with my, how did I say my total? Let me check right now. Let me just check right now. Okay, 913, almost 1,000. That's not bad. That's better than nothing. That's more than I started with. So I cannot complain. I think if I had a full day, then that would be fun. You know what would also be really fun? Doing like those 5,000 word days. Like that's really cool. I can make a big dent, because we're getting pretty close to the end of my book. Oh my god, isn't that crazy? But we're getting pretty close to the end. Also, I'm gonna start break soon. Like my school break is starting soon. So like all I'm thinking about is time right now. Like that's what I want to be doing in the like month I have off. Like that's pretty significant. So let's see what I can come up with during that time. But I think that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. If you are new here, or if you're just a peeper, subscribe, because you already like me enough to watch to the end. So just go ahead and do that. And while you're at it, go ahead and like this video, because I would really appreciate that. And yeah, should we do an emoji? Thanksgiving is coming up very soon. I don't know if I'll have this up by then, but in the spirit of Thanksgiving and fall, the last hurrah for fall, go ahead and put any fall emoji, and I'll go ahead and heart your comment. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.